The Tribal Council Part 2, A Visit to the Rose Temple. An excerpt from Return to Examaker, Book 3 of The Adventures of Isabelle by Nicole Cutts. After sending the letter off, Isabelle felt a need for solitude and decided to do something she had not done in a long time. She called to Xerxes and they took a ride to the southwest corner of the field that stretches out behind the palace. It was a beautifully warm, early summer day, and Isabelle revelled in riding through the tall grass blooming with delicate wildflowers of yellow, pink and blue. It wasn't a long ride. After only about 15 minutes, a circular pink marble and granite structure emerged on the horizon, standing out against the rich green of newly matured leaves. As she drew closer, Isabelle's heart stirred. At the place where the field met the emerald forest, there stood a temple. After dismounting Philippides, Isabelle sat in the shade on the temple steps to remove her riding boots. She delighted in the feeling of the cold marble on her hot, bare feet. Xerxes, preferring the sun, stretched out on the warm marble floor, basking in a patch of sunlight just inside the colonnade, already preparing for his nap. The temple was simple but beautiful. The colonnade was composed of pink granite columns that ringed the outer edge of the edifice dedicated to the goddess. As Isabelle entered the cool interior, she felt as though she was stepping into a dream. The air was still and quiet, save for the soft sound of her footsteps on the stone floor. A faint scent of frankincense wafted in the air. Suddenly, she was startled from her hypnagogic state by a loud flapping sound near her head. Isabelle blinked, her eyes taking a moment to adjust to the darker interior before she could make out the red-tailed hawk that had swooped past and lighted on the marble ledge of the triangular pediment above the tabernacle. Unsure of whether it was because she had been startled by the bird or because she had been in a dreamlike state, but it felt as if she was not quite in her body as she stared, transfixed, at the hawk. Isabelle was admiring the creature's beauty when she suddenly drew back her head and squinted to get a better look. There was something about the hawk that seemed familiar. Her heart quickened as the creature stared back at her with piercing eyes. Could it be Almitra? The last time Isabelle had seen her Sibylline friend was during the mission to Orphalese. Isabelle's breath caught in her throat. It was Almitra. The hawk's gaze confirmed it. Isabelle's heart leapt with joy. Stay tuned for Part 3 of The Tribal Council, an excerpt from Return to Examaker, Book 3 of The Adventures of Isabelle by Nicole Cutts. Books 1 and 2 available on Amazon.